Wow.
Got a kid? You want to provide for that kid? You got to do that using your skill set. And your skill set? Shazam.
All right, everybody who wants to live, put your hands in the air.
Hey everybody, welcome to MaffmanJones Movie Reviews. I am John Maffio, and today's featured movie is The Place Beyond the Pines from director of Blue Valentine, and this stars Ryan Gosling, Bradley Cooper, Dane DeHaan, Rose Byrne, Eva Mendes, as well as Ray Liotta and a couple other cool people. All I'm going to say about the plot is that Ryan Gosling's character is a motocross stuntman who works for a carnival. He accidentally sparks up a romance with an old friend, Eva Mendes, and it just so turns out that they together had a son. He is a tormented and flawed person, and he wants to be involved in his kid's life, but he just can't because she has moved on with her life, but he will do whatever he can to do so, and this will cause a chain of events, consequences, and more. I honestly don't know where to begin with this movie, but I've heard nothing but good things leading up to it, and it's going to be in wide release in a couple weeks. And I was scared for this movie because I went into it thinking it was going to be really pretentious and self-indulgent, and I was going to end up very displeased with it. But at the end of the day, I hate when critics of any medium jump the shark and just use ridiculous hyperboles in their reviews, but I'm being very genuine about this. The Place Beyond the Pines was one of the most thought-provoking movies I've seen in quite a few years. I'm still thinking about it right now as I speak to you guys, and I feel like this could be an American classic, given 10, 20 years' time. Concerning performances, everybody does a sustainable good job at the very least. Even Eva Mendes has a good role in this, but the lead anchors in this movie are Dane DeHaan, who is up and coming right now, and every time he's on screen, I'm just enthralled by his presence. Ryan Gosling and Bradley Cooper. Ryan Gosling's performance was really good. Not great, but it was good enough, and his character's presence loomed over the entire movie. Bradley Cooper's performance was spectacular, however, and it was mesmerizing, and he has this gravitas that carries through the entire film. Story-wise, it was very essential and vital that we were more emotionally engaged in Bradley Cooper's character than Ryan Gosling's, because otherwise this film would have faltered greatly. But due to the performances and the really solid direction, it's handled very well. This film is aesthetically beautiful. It is very meticulously crafted, and from the opening tracking shot, I was in there. Discussing the story without pinpointing any details at all, this is actually original, believe it or not, and it's very overly ambitious, but I think the ambition is what sells this movie. This film is broken up into 3 acts, and once you think about it, you might not realize it at first, but it's very obvious what the acts are and how they're broken up. Perhaps the only flaw that I can point out with this movie is that people will be more interested and more enthralled by the first 2 acts rather than the third, which is basically the climax and the revelations and the resolutions of all the characters. But for me personally, I enjoyed all 3 acts equally for different aspects, and the ending was very satisfying while also leaving some ambiguity for some of the characters. I might just develop an in-depth review one day, but there is more to this movie than meets the eye. There are a lot of hidden themes and morals, a lot of motivations between characters that you don't realize at first, but they're true. For example, lies, intrusions, and overall mistakes that one makes in their life can haunt them for the rest of their life. And also, karma is a bitch. Overall, though, some will say that Place Beyond the Pines is pretentious, self-indulgent, and too ambitious for its own good, but in my opinion, I was so enthralled by this movie, and it's one of the best movies I've seen in the past 5 to 10 years. I can't wait to watch it again to discover new possibilities with the film. The cinematography, the performances, the direction of the story, the music, they all hit the right chords, and I was very emotionally resonant with this movie. Place Beyond the Pines is Maffadocious. It's a 5 out of 5 stars, the first of 2013. I just can't believe this movie was as good as it was. If you have seen Place Beyond the Pines or plan to see it, because it's in very limited release and it's very difficult to get your hands on this movie, then let me know anything about it in the comments down below. Please subscribe to MaffmanJones and like this video if you enjoyed this review. Also check out Facebook, Twitter, and We Live Film in the info box. I am John Maffio from MaffmanJones Movie Reviews. I'm heavily imploring you, when you get the chance, go see this movie. I recommend it highly. highly. See you next time.
You know something, Luke? If you ride like lightning, you're gonna crash like thunder.